Hey everybody, happy Thursday. I always love Thursdays. I have a meeting with my business internship, which is always a very good, positive environment. Being around people who are in a place where you want to be in life, who are, again, positive, who are going to help you out, who are going to support you, encourage you. Whenever you can get into an environment like that, guys, take it. Because you might be getting away from your studying for an hour or so, or you might be getting away from some work that you said you had to take care of, but every once in a while you got to do that, because if you don't take healthy breaks, your system is going to force you to take unhealthy breaks. And for addicts, that typically turns to their biggest form of pleasure, their easiest accessible form of pleasure. And if you didn't plan ahead, all right, I'm going to hang out with these people. All right, I'm going to read this book. All right, I'm going to stop and just jam on the guitar for a while. Your brain is going to slowly shut down until, oh my goodness, I cannot handle another minute of this essay or another minute of this task. And yes, work does not always offer that with your standard 9 to 5 as far as breaks whenever you feel like it. But when you do have breaks, when you are able to have breaks, take it. And during your work, if you can have headphones in, you can listen to positive audiobooks, you can listen to music that's going to put you in a good mood and not just whatever's on the radio, because there's lyrics that are full of sex and stuff like that. So, got to be careful there. But I actually wanted to talk about talking to other people about this. But I don't mean walking around as a walking, talking charity case and feel bad for me and all that nonsense, but rather I mean talking to people that you care about, that care about you, that it would make your mental conscience feel better if you didn't feel like you were living a lie. And I'll explain what I mean, kind of what I said in the previous video, as far as when you are somebody on the outside that everybody sees, but then you're also somebody on the inside that's maybe a darker version of you that people don't see, that can have a nasty side, a nasty edge. And in the book that I was given by the anonymous group that I attend, there was a section on resentment, and it told the story of a younger boy, maybe age 12, who first got addicted to adult material. And the first time that he sought masturbation just out of curiosity, it was just curiosity. That's all it was. We're all innocent at one point. We all don't have a clue what that is. And, we don't know much beside it feels good. And then past that point, though, he actually notified his mom, and he said, hey, this is what happened, this is what I did. She said, don't ever do that again, don't ever talk about it again. Done. She just put an exclamation point on it, thought, oh yeah, this will solve everything, this will totally address the problem, this will totally fix my son's sexual desires, and even though that's how he was wired, that's not how it works. And what happened is it was really good metaphor here. He said it felt like part of him threw a massive silent switch. And when he did that, a portion of himself kind of retreated back into that darkness and put a big huge curtain, a big wall up in between him and his mom, because his brain was again seeking that pleasure, and it just found a new source. It just found a super source, if you will. Pornography is actually classified as a super stimuli. Our brains are not designed to handle that sort of thing, and we weren't ever really able, without a lot of mental fortitude, to just be able to stop yourself in the middle of it if you weren't super conscious about that, super intentional about that. So Back to the story, though, he began to resent his mom. He began to resent his dad when he spoke to him about it. He began to resent all the people who would try to educate him on this sort of thing in youth group, in school, with sex ed and stuff like that. And there was a whole lot of resentment building up. And after a while, it's almost like he wasn't getting a hit off that dopamine, off that pleasure, but actually he was getting off a hit off resentment. And you might be like, what the heck does that mean? A hit off resentment? Resentment sounds terrible. It's not the same as pleasure. It's not the same as dopamine. But again, with your neural associations, as your brain links that resentment of, all right, all these people are opposing that pleasure. They're all telling me don't do it. They're all telling me stop. All telling me don't talk about it. This, that, and the other thing. And after a while, if your brain has already been hardwired to make that decision, even if you love, cherish, care about, admire, respect these people, your parents, your brain could care less. It just wants that pleasure. It doesn't care about them. It doesn't care about you. It wants that pleasure. It thinks it's caring about you, but in reality, it's going to push away everyone who's trying to actually help you. And whether you like it or not, whether you know it or not, that happens. And I realized I did that so much when I was kind of in that cesspool of not really caring whether or not I did. And I just retreated from society a lot. I played a ton of video games. I've talked about this a little bit. I played a ton of phone games. I stayed in my room often. I would sneak my iPad and later iPhone down to my room against my parents' knowing, against their will. And I missed out on a large portion of my past. I missed out on a large portion of hanging out with my family, of being loved by my family, since I was pushing their love away and I was seeking it with pixels and screens and screens and pixels that couldn't love me. And I resented them because they told me I shouldn't do that thing that was controlling me. And you can very quickly see how that spirals and tailspins into a vicious cycle that at the time I did not know how to break out of. So I actually spoke to my mom last night for the first time since she found out when I was a lot younger, maybe 14, 15. But yeah, I told her, I was like, I'm going to a 12-step meeting. I have a YouTube channel. I've set up all these guardrails. I am getting a blocker on my phone and my computer. I make phone calls twice a day. I take cold showers. I meditate. And I am trying so hard to beat this. I'm going to beat this. That's a done deal. That's a fact. But right now, when I need to make a phone call, Mom, it's not you, it's me. I gotta make a phone call. And if I ever don't feel mentally okay at your apartment, or I gotta go to Dad's, or I gotta go hang out with friends, that's me. That's not you. Because on that Brain Buddy app, it shows trends of like morning versus night, versus Monday versus Saturday versus Tuesday, on trends for when you would lapse, when you'd be tempted. So with that, it's very evident what days become recurring themes, whether that's weekdays, whether that's weekends, whichever. And it just so happened that at my mom's, I was a lot more likely to lapse than I was at my dad's. So, I took a break. I was at my dad's only for a week, and I didn't go to my mom's house, and she nearly flipped out about it. She was like, what's up? Why are you doing this? Do you hate me? And just started throwing all this nonsense. But yeah, you got to look at the bigger picture. You got to slow down. You got to do what's best for you, not in a selfish way, but in a selfless way. Because selfish, the definition of selfish, is doing things out of your personal gain at the expense of others, without regard for others. Whereas beating this addiction and overcoming has your future family in mind, has your current family in mind, has all your coworkers in mind, has everyone you will ever come across in mind. So you're not even just doing it for yourself. And if that's too big of a picture for you guys, just do it for you. Do it for the benefits. Do it for the gains in muscle. Do it for the gains in mental. Do it for the girls, the guys, the relationships, everything you're going after. Your dreams, your ambitions, your passions. Because I'm telling you, I'm sure this is the one thing, if not one of the very few things, that's standing between you and everything you've ever hoped for. So, with that, everybody, I would encourage you guys to reach out to people that you care about, whether that's starting with a trusted friend who you maybe look up to, who you respect. If you don't want to, go straight to mom and dad. But honestly, the more you bring this to light, the more people know about this. Not in a tell everybody who breathes and make them feel bad for you. But the more people know, who are old enough, are going to give you advice, are going to encourage you, that is going to make your job a lot easier. That is going to take a lot of the burden off your shoulders, because we weren't designed to do this alone. So everybody, have a fantastic rest of your day. If you have any questions as far as finding an accountability partner or how to talk to mom or dad or something like that, hit me up in the comments or shoot me an email, whichever. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Peace.